Open the software for the first time, and you're met with an endless void, a blinking command line, and absolutely zero handholding. Looking at standard curriculum documents like the syllabus, you can see how most people start. Sessions 1 through 3 usually focus strictly on 2D drafting, teaching you to manually hunt and click through the ribbon menu to build basic geometry, one line at a time. But relying on your mouse to click every single tool is a trap. Constructing a complex architectural floor plan by dragging your cursor back and forth to the toolbar for every line, arc, and trim causes your efficiency to plummet. The workspace operates as a true Cartesian coordinate system, an infinite mathematical grid of X and Y values, where physical drafting logic no longer applies. To master this software, you have to stop treating your monitor like a literal drawing board. You need a systems-based approach that lets the software do the heavy lifting. By day 10, professionals barely look at the ribbon at the top of the screen. Instead, they drive the entire program through the command line. AutoCAD is designed to be spoken to via keystrokes. You tap C for a circle, L for a line, or Z for zoom. Your left hand fires off commands on the keyboard, while your right hand stays locked on the mouse to guide the geometry, completely eliminating the travel time of moving your cursor across the screen. Once you establish that rhythm, you hit the golden rule of drafting: never draw the same object twice. If you design a window or mechanical gear, you don't want loose lines and arcs. You convert them into a block, a single unified asset. Instead of redrawing it for every room, you instantly array that block across your floor plan, populating hundreds in seconds. You can even set up your environment before you begin working. By saving a specific drawing template, or .dwt file, your standardized units, line types, and layers load automatically the moment you hit New. A seasoned drafter doesn't move their hand faster than a beginner. They achieve speed by replacing repetitive manual clicks with automated, repeatable systems. Navigating the ViewCube tilts the grid to reveal the depth of the Z-axis. Your planar sketches act as foundations. A 2D architectural footprint can be extruded straight up, generating solid walls and physical volume in a single motion. From there, you use Boolean operations to refine the model. You can take overlapping basic 3D solids and subtract one from the other to carve out precise mechanical parts or hollow out rooms. Mastering the 3D workspace allows for the sculpting of a mathematically accurate virtual prototype. By day 20, you hit the professional standard, which you can see outlined here in the final stages of this university syllabus, under Session 29, Plotting and Layouts. Building a highly detailed model serves zero purpose if you can't properly output it for a client or builder. This requires understanding a strict architectural divide in the software. There is model space, where your entire design is built at a true one-to-one, real-world scale, and there is paper space, where you prepare your document for printing. In paper space, you create viewports, portals cut into a digital sheet, looking back at your one-to-one model. Zoom, pan, and scale inside these portals to create detailed views. The underlying master model remains locked, untouched, and dimensionally pristine. Once a project leaves your desk, it requires collaboration. That's where external references, or XREFs, come in. This system allows a team of specialists to link their individual drawn files into a single master project. If a structural engineer updates their framing plan, those exact changes instantly populate on the lead architect's screen. The files stay light, and everyone works off the exact same data in real time. By day 20, AutoCAD serves as a collaborative, precision-engineered database that outputs a professional reality.